Hi, this is Jake from Optimus Futures, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to create trading alerts on the Firetip trading platform. So before we do begin, I would like to mention that there are quite a few different ways to open up the trade or the alert configuration window. The first method is through the trading tab up in the top left-hand corner. Simply click on trading, scroll down, and enable the alerts tab. And as you can see, this will create an alerts window. If you'd like, you can also go through the toolbar. This is the yellow exclamation point and within the triangle here. This achieves the same exact thing. Simply click on that and it will open up your alerts window. Finally, if you do have a specific contract that you'd like to create an alert for, this is essentially the same exact window, but you can come through the trading matrix here. Simply click on the exclamation point column and it will open alerts for a specific instrument. For my method here, I would like to show you the overall view. So if you would like to create trading alerts for different instruments, I would just suggest coming through the toolbar here. Now with our window open, as you can see, we have created a past alert here. If at any time you would like to remove an alert, you can simply click on this red minus button here on the left-hand side to delete this alert button. It will remove any active alerts you have, as well as any triggered alerts down here in the bottom. So let's begin. If you'd like to add an alert starting from scratch, we can click the add alert button. Now the first field is your symbol. If you know it, you can manually type it in. Otherwise, we can go through the symbol finder, search here for the symbol we'd like to search for, double click on our contract name in the text field, and select the trading month. So we'll select our E-mini S&P 500 contract here. And this is where things become interesting and where customization comes into play. Now, this is essentially an algorithm created by yourself, an expression, and there's quite a few different fields here in which your alerts can be triggered by. So if we open the field column here, this will display all the different triggers essentially that will base your alert off of. So for example, we can have the E-mini S&P 500 in the field will be catered toward the following options: last size, last time, change, high, low, ask size, ask time, bid size, bid time, and current time. So as you can see, there are quite a few different fields. So if you are the type of trader that likes to create trades based off of different prices, you can do so for either the high or the low, ask or the bid. If you need it based off a particular size, you can do so there. If you need it based off of price changes, you can do that. There's last prices, last sizes, time. There's a ton of different options here. So let's do one based off our ask size. So if we select ask in the field, we then have an option of our operator. These will be greater than and equal to, or less than or equal to. So for our example, we'll pick greater than or equal to. And now we need a trigger. Now, if you are unsure what to put here, since this is a manual field, I would suggest opening up the trading matrix. And as you can see, the corresponding columns do show you the information necessary, which is required to put in the trigger field. So if I'm a bit confused on what to put for an ask trigger, I would suggest coming down to your E-mini S&P futures contract within your trading matrix here in the top left, scrolling over to the ask field. And as you can see here, this is the current ask price at 2860.7550. It is fluctuating back and forth. So if I want to, per se, I could put in here that my ask price is greater than or equal to, let's say, 2860.50. So when that fluctuation does occur in the market, once it does go past 50, I should get an alert. So let's see what happens if I click apply. My alert is created, and as you can see, the market, you maybe didn't catch it, but it just did right as I set that alert, triggered based off of the current price I had my ask price set to. it was greater than or equal to, and it did fluctuate just for a very brief second up to 0.50 or 0.75, excuse me. If you'd like, we can keep this trigger here, but just simply change the field or the field trigger. I can put it up to 0.75 and I can click apply. So now if we take a look at our ask column here, it actually just dropped. So we'll keep this alert active for now. And if we need to, we'll just keep it at enabled. Click apply once more. So now we know our alert is enabled. So we'll keep it here in the background for now and see if it triggers. And speaking of the devil, it did just trigger, and it will actually show the price at which it was triggered at. So that's something very cool and something to keep in mind. You can always refer back to when your alerts were triggered and what price they were triggered at down here in the activity column. So that is quite nice. So you can keep an eye out at all times. If we like, we can go now. We have our gold contract added to our trading matrix as well. So let's apply that alert field here. We'll search for our gold contract, expand this, open up the trading month, and we'll now add it to our alerts. So we have a gold alert here. We have disabled our E-mini S&P alert. And now let's begin to customize. This time, let's do it based off size. So we have our ask size. We can scroll over on our trading matrix to see what the current ask size is at. And this does fluctuate quite often. So you may see that it will trigger quite quick, but that's okay. This is an example. Again, this is purely hypothetical. No rhyme or reason why I'm choosing these numbers or these contracts, just merely showing off the technical features of this platform. So as you can see, if we keep an eye on the ask size of the E-mini S&P, it is fluctuating around pretty rapidly. I would suggest to keep within the parameters or the formatting of whatever column is here. That's why I do suggest to always look at your trading matrix before you create your trigger. If you do end up putting a price, for example, under the ask size, it may behave a bit weird, or you may never reach this, although you put in a price, you may never reach the actual size in the market. That remains to be seen. As you can see, the current ask size of this gold contract here is only 1. I don't believe this is trading right now, so that is definitely why that is occurring. If we change this, let's change it to the next trading month here. We'll add the J. It should be in real time. So now that our symbol is changed, let's change it here as well. Okay, there we go. We have more ask size in the market currently. So it's at 17. If we put our ask size to be, let's do less than, it's currently at 20-ish. It just dropped down. Let's do 16. And we'll click apply. It just, of course, dropped down to 14. So it would automatically trigger, but you get the point. I would always suggest coming into your trading matrix here, looking at the column, seeing the type of format. This is pretty universal across all the different formats here. But again, if you decide to select a price and you only have, for example, our trigger as 16, obviously it's going to trigger immediately. So just something to keep in mind. Once it does trigger, the alert will always go back to disabled. So if you are looking for another alert there and need to change this up or customize it, feel free to re-enable that alert. It's also worth mentioning that you can click on repeat and you can actually change the trigger. So if you want to increase your trigger by, let's say, 200 or whatever the case may be, or the specific price at which you wish the alert to trigger, and you have repeat enabled, this will not turn to disabled and will remain on enabled until that bump trigger is activated once more. Again, you will see all alerts down here in the activity field. If you want, you can delete events at any time by clicking the corresponding button up there in the top left. It will remove our events down here. And then if you want, you can remove all the alerts simultaneously by clicking on delete alerts and clicking OK. That just about does it for this video. If you found it helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Firetip videos. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, post them down in the comment section below, or feel free to visit our community forum, which can be found at community.optimusfutures.com, and post your questions there. Thanks for watching, and we hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. If this video helped, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative content related to the futures market.